Welcome to a special edition of BNT Sports Talk Show. I am T, and to my right or left, I never know, is B. And we got a special edition for y'all because the playoffs are hot and heavy, and there's so many things going on, so much so that the Lakers are playing right now, and number one Laker fan in the world, me, is trying to talk to y'all, and I'm doing the best I can. So please, have patience with me. I'm trying, although it doesn't look like the Lakers really wanted to play today, so this might not be much of an issue. If this is your first time listening to us, please, or watching us, listening, please subscribe. Please hit that notification button, or do both, please. We appreciate it. Everyone that can join us. All right, B. So, we had some games yesterday. Obviously, it was your team that started it off with a game against the Sacramento Kings, or game 2 against the Sacramento Kings. Unfortunately, they did walk away with a loss. However, and for the most part, it was a close game throughout. It was a little sloppy during most portions of the game, both in execution, but also in the physicality of the game. And that leads me into the topic and subject that most everyone has been talking about, which was the stomp heard around the league. So let's talk about it. Draymond Green, with about 5 or so minutes left in the fourth quarter, decides, you know what? I've had enough of this. Sabonis grabs his leg. He intentionally grabbed his leg, so we'll start there. Draymond feels him, grab on the leg, pulls his leg up, and lands that big old size 20 or whatever it is foot right on the chest of Sabonis. And folks, in the game, in the moment that they called it, you didn't really know what it looked like or how bad it really was. But when they slowed that thing down, I mean, it looked pretty bad. I mean, it looked really bad. And so, I guess let's start with that. We'll start with one. B, I'm going to start with you. How much did that stomp contribute to? We're not even going to get to the suspension yet. How much did that stomp contribute to the Warriors losing that game?
It's a lot because you're losing your best defensive presence in the game. Now, granted, I think he had 5 fouls on him already at the time. So it's not like he could have been aggressive, but that's your defensive leader. That's your engine that gets everything going. Gets kicked out of the game. And, everything was just kind of was spilling over. Yeah. Fans got wild up. What was worse is the commissioner was in the stands.
That's probably why he got suspended.
But I mean, look, the Warriors' defensive mentality was there for the most part of the game. It was. I liked how they looked in the first quarter. The defense was there, but in all honesty, the reason why they lost this game is not because of Draymond getting ejected. The turnovers are still killing them. 20-plus turnovers again in a game. It's hurting them because I think Sacramento had almost 40 points off of turnovers. So if you even eliminate half of that, the Warriors are winning this game. In essence, the Warriors should be up 2-0 with how they're going here. And Sacramento's not doing anything explosive. It is get De'Aaron Fox the ball, kind of probe with Sabonis, and then take what you can get. Malik Monk didn't have a great game. Ty, whatever the hell his name is, came to earth. Sabonis only had 12 points, so the Warriors are beating themselves. That's just plain and simple there. And then obviously this incident just did not make things any better for the case and even for Draymond here.
Yeah, and I think when you get back to home, it'll be a little better. The one thing they have to do is get more consistent with the referee. The way they call this game was just, Jekyll and Hyde from moment to moment. They let the game get way too physical. There was a lot of bumping, a lot of grabbing. Guys were being held. It was happening the entire game. And so I think what leads up to all of that physicality is the fact that the refs are not setting the base of this is how we're going to call this game. And because they're not doing that, it is leading to a circumstance where it is a bit of a, it's a bit of a hodgepodge. It's almost too physical. And, I really think the Warriors, along with turnovers, they really still had a chance to win that game.
Yeah.
they kind of got a little wonky with their offense. They started really jacking up some shots, and of course it's Steph Curry, so it's like you got to do what you got to do. But I got to say, the offensive play calling or the lack thereof, it was pretty bad. And I thought there were opportunities where maybe there was a chance to call some set plays to help get guys going, or at least get higher percentage shots. Although, again, you have to rely on 3-point shooting if you're the Warriors. And there was one point where Curry, I think, got back-to-back layups in the fourth quarter. We're talking late fourth quarter.
Easy buckets, too.
They really just kind of went away from that and went back to just one-on-one, some little, quick rub screens to try to get Clay and him going from the 3-point line. But I really think when you're playing against this team, the opportunity is to get downhill. And
Oh, yeah.
and they don't play very good defense, the Sacramento Kings don't. And I think if the Warriors could really key in on that a little bit more and get into the paint a little bit more to open up some things, and maybe have some of their 3-pointers come off assists coming out of the paint instead of them living around the perimeter, I think they'll do much better and shoot a higher clip than what they did in this last game.
Well, and they got into the game, too, by getting to the rim. At one point, the Warriors were down almost 20 points.
Yeah.
And basically lay up their way into that game with a couple threes, but it was predominantly inside of the paint.
Right.
And then I can't believe I'm going to say this, but they shot themselves out of that game.
Yeah.
They should have just stayed in it, and just by getting to the hoop. I get it. It's a live and die by the three mentality, but you got to understand the situation where if Sacramento is giving you layups because they don't want to give up the three, take it.
Yeah.
It's a guaranteed 2 points coming out of you. And the one thing you don't see is you don't see a lot of cutting to the basket right now. There's not a lot of the Warriors basketball mentality is you got to have a cutter every single time. There's always someone diving to the hoop, and you're not seeing a whole lot of that right now.
Yeah.
With that, so they're coming home. They're tremendously good at home. Obviously, they're not going to have Draymond for this game, but Kuminga will be in the starting lineup for that. So, and Kuminga should just be living at the hoop. I don't see anyone outside of Sabonis being able to guard Kuminga to get to the hoop. Everyone just looks too small against him.
Exactly. And so all that physicality ultimately leads up to the situation with Draymond, and then we find out from that point that eventually Draymond gets suspended. We'll miss the next game. I still think the Warriors have opportunity to win this game because they're back at home, and if they could just raise their 3-point percentage, they can blow any team out of the water. However, the question still remains: Did that warrant a suspension? B, I mean, what do you think, man? Should the league have suspended Draymond for a playoff game?
I'm not trying to sound like a homer, but no, because he got kicked out of the game with over 7 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. So it was not like it didn't have an impact. Him being out of the game had some tremendous impact because Looney couldn't carry the load against Sabonis. So that had a huge implication on everything, right?
Yeah.
I think that I'm not trying to say the NBA's got something against the Warriors, but this is the second time, and the last time Draymond had an egregious act like this was when he nut tapped LeBron James in the 2016 NBA Finals. Last year's ejection, last year's suspension, that was just a hard foul.
Yeah.
What Draymond did, he hasn't done since 2016.
Right.
So for Joe Dumars to come out and say it's because of his past history, that is the worst escape comment you can ever make to suspend a guy.
Hey, man, they did it to Sheed for years, man. I mean,
not one comment was made about the stomp because that already settled itself by him getting the flagrant 2. And him getting kicked out of the game.
Here's what I think, man. I think the issue really is this. It is Draymond's reputation. It's the fact that he committed that after the foul he starts jawing with the fans. He starts yelling at folks and all this because at that point, I think Draymond knew he was going to get ejected. That's why he was doing all of that.
Yeah.
And so he more or less knows what he was doing. And I think him doing that also signals that since he knew what he was doing, well, then he's going to get a harsh penalty. And so, it's tough because it's basketball, and basketball is not, it's a physical sport, but not like that. And whenever things like that happen, plays like that happen, they stand out so much from the norm. And that's why I think he got suspended. I can't think of another play another play like that in basketball this year or last year where a guy stomped on another guy's chest. That's the first time I've seen that. It's a shock thing. It's like a whoa, what the and I think the league took that along with his history into consideration. And you mentioned it, B. Adam Silver's in the crowd. Adam Silver's actually watching this thing live.
I call him Slender Man.
Slender Man, yeah. He's out there watching it. So obviously, if Adam Silver not only sees the play, but is there to see and hear some of the vulgarity coming out of Draymond's mouth towards the fans after that play, then yeah, he's going to want to make an example of him. And it's not hard to do because Draymond's been in this circumstance a couple of times. So I think that's why. I don't know if it's right or wrong necessarily, but it seems par for the course. I'll just say that.
Well, here's what troubles me the most is that's the second time Sabonis has taken Draymond down.
Yeah, he did it.
Well, no, he didn't take Draymond down.
A couple times.
He tried to take Klay Thompson down with him.
Well, he did it once when he drove through his body and then landed on top of him on one play.
Yeah, but in game one, towards the end of the game, in the exact same area, he brought Draymond on the game-winning or on the potential game-winning shot. He brought Draymond down with him and then proceeded to hold him onto the court. Nobody talks about that first incident, and here it is again. The fact that he grabbed his leg, it drew the reaction. Something tells me that the Kings have been probing Draymond these first two games to get what they wanted. And I told you on Sunday that I need a technical from Draymond.
Yeah, well,
I needed one. I did not need an ejection from Draymond. There was a difference. The Warriors didn't capitalize on that fire. But at the same time, me and you have talked about it. Sacramento is basically like a bull in the china shop right now, coming down into the paint.
Yeah,
Ty has been absolutely bulldozing people into the lane.
Yeah, Trey Miles has been doing it, but then also even on cutters. So for cutters, they've been grabbing, they've been grappling, they've been pushing. There's been a lot of that, and that's what I put on the refs. But look, if it's sportsmanship, if you let Sabonis push you into circumstances like this, then that's what's going to happen to you. Patrick Beverley's been doing it every single game for the past 7 years. I mean, so that's not new to basketball or any sport. So I'm not going to give Draymond a pass because they're poking at him. He has to understand that what his reputation is and how he's going to be treated. And I'm sorry, stomps aren't something that happen in the NBA. They're just not. No. And so whenever they do happen, you're going to get suspended. That's just that's just the way of the league. And I know Warriors fans, you're looking at and you're saying, yeah, well, he grabbed his leg. Yeah, but I'm sorry, folks. Just about any other player does something like that, they're probably going to get suspended. I mean, I'm sorry. There's only a few players that can escape that suspension, and Draymond is not one of them.
But here's the other problem to that too. One, Joe Dumars last year was in the Sacramento Kings organization before taking on this role in the for the Players Association in the NBA. That doesn't raise any question that it's Joe Dumars that's handing down the suspension to Draymond Green.
And B, I hear what you're saying, man, but check this out. Check this out. It's this simple. No stomp, no suspension. It's that simple.
No. 100%, and everyone agrees to that. Had Sabonis never grabbed that ankle, we wouldn't be, me and you and the rest of the nation would not be having this conversation about Draymond getting kicked out.
Yeah, well, you gotta be, whatever happened to veterans, okay? You talked about Sabonis and some of the moves that he's doing on Draymond. He's doing the veteran moves, the hooking, the subtle grabbing. That's what you do to get under a guy's skin. If you're Draymond,
Yeah.
if a guy grabs your leg, don't step on him. Just calmly kick him and fall backwards. I mean, be a veteran. See, these are the type of things I'm talking about. I know everybody wants to defend him because, it's the Warriors and, it's Draymond. They're picking on Draymond. But stuff like this happens in the league all the time. You just have to be a veteran about it and do it in a smart way. Don't be so demonstrative with it. You stop on the guy and then jump in the air. You don't think anybody's going to notice? I mean, come on. I've seen guys stay in the league for years just being able to get under other guys' skin. And the way Patrick Beverley does it all the time. Grabs guys. You see Chris Paul do it. Chris Paul bumps into a guy, throws his head back. You have to be smart. If you're going to get your 2 cents in, you do it on the low. Draymond has this thing where he does it so demonstrably after that it's almost hard not to notice it. The hit on LeBron while everybody's staring at you. Stopping on Sabonis with everybody staring at you. My man, all you had to do was fall on him. That's all you had to do. That's what Sabonis did. All you had to do was when he grabbed your foot, you could have easily just fell forward, got a knee into his chest, and fell to the ground. Come on, man. That's what you do if you're a vet. But if
you had mentioned something about the refs, and the refs have done an absolutely terrible job dictating the pace of this game here. It is a very physical game, and I think you and I can both agree to the physicality of it.
Yeah.
But they're letting a lot of stuff go.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, come the fourth quarter, that whistle's getting blown more than 2 short.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep,
I agree.
Dictate the game in the first 5 minutes, and what is a foul was not a foul. Dictate it, and then you need to stay consistent with it as well. They're not allowing that to happen. They're going, well, we'll let the physicality, people are into it. And then all of a sudden, with 4 minutes left in the game, the whistle's going off.
Yeah.
And it's going off violently.
Yeah.
So the refs need to do a good job. They need to dictate it. Now, again, I don't agree with what Draymond did. Stepping on Sabonis with them. You know what? If you were going to step on someone, you should have worn black shoes. Because then it would have just blended in with the jersey. But he had these big old hamburger helper white shoes on.
But
so you were going to see this from a mile away.
But the hop, though, he went in there. He went in there WWE style, Hulk Hogan WrestleMania stomp, jumped up in the air. I mean, it was pretty funny, man. But let's talk about this real quick. The referee, you brought up a point we were talking last time. I think what's more egregious than what we're talking about is what's happening to some of the shooters on your team.
Oh my God!
Okay, so one thing I like to point out that the refs are not really getting in is the fact that when the Kings are closing out, they are closing out into the body and into the shooting space of the of the guards, and I'm talking about Steph Curry mainly, and again the Kings are not a good defensive team, and that call it's not being called. They are getting into his space whenever he's landing, and I hope that. And maybe what we need Steve Kerr to get a technical, because we need somebody to go out here and try to work some of these refs, because if it's happening continuously as a coach, maybe that's when you get out there and you go, you know what, I'm going to take one for the team. I'm going to say, you know what, give me a tech, get my guy. Why are you guys not? I think we need to see some of that fire, and I don't know if all the road losses have just made Kerr very tired or what, but you need something. You need your coach. This is the time for your coach to step up, get his butt in those refs' ear, and say, "Hey, look, I'm not taking this garbage anymore. You got to be better."
But here's what also drives me nuts is every time Curry gets to the hole, there's contact when he gets there.
Yeah.
And
there is
no whistle being blown.
Yeah, they're bodying him. And,
if that's the case, the whistle needs to be swallowed on the Sacramento end. And I'm not trying to make excuses for the Warriors because, like I said, the turnovers and Draymond getting kicked out was their ultimate doom. But you got to look at that free throw disparity and say there is absolutely no way Sacramento is able to shoot that many free throws with very little contact in the paint. If you're not going to call it, don't call it, because then it's even both ways. But when Curry is getting absolutely bodied by Sabonis, and then come down the lane, Malik Monk is going to sit there and just get tapped and get a foul.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, it just has to go both ways. But dictate that in the first 5 minutes. If you're not going to blow
Be
the whistle,
consistent, man. Just be
follow
consistent.
it.
And
That's
let's get caught up on the chat. This has been such a fired up conversation.
Let's go. And they're not even playing today.
By the way, the Lakers have cut the lead to 6. There's about 3 minutes and 50 seconds left. We'll see if they could somehow squeeze this game out. I doubt it, but if they somehow squeeze this game out, then that series is over. So we're going to start with NorCal Sports. What's up, NorCal? What's good, fam? And thank you for confirming that the notifications is working. So please turn on your notifications.
It works, y'all.
They said it was sad that he didn't get the text from you about the show, but that's okay because we got the notifications working. And Jeremy chimes in with yo, my boy B. And let's see, GSW, another one from NorCal. GSW are playing like trash, B. Well, I wouldn't say they're playing like trash. They just haven't hit shots at the volume that we think they can. I think that'll be rectified at home. Will W. Welcome, Will. Draymond.
What's up, Will?
Draymond didn't deserve suspension. He was playing the bad guy. He just clapped at the fans. He didn't double the birds. He just playing the heel. Yeah, playing the heel is one thing, but stomping on the guy's chest is another.
Well, yeah, but I think what he's getting at is Draymond's always enticed the crowd. Let's put it like that.
Yeah.
But he didn't get engaged with a lot of the fans there, because when you see some of the replays, there was this big old fat Sacramento fan in the stands, wearing looking like a purple people with his jersey on.
Yeah.
Giving the double bird, and then you have a bystander trying to prevent 19,000 people to calm down. You're not going to calm down, man. You just watch your player get stomped on. You're going to have the reaction. Him jumping on the seats, getting the crowd involved. It's Draymond.
Yeah, it's Draymond.
Everyone's going to get fired up.
Yeah.
It's.
Let's just put it this way. You have no choice but to win the next game. The only thing you can hope for, the only thing that you don't want is you being in a close game or being on the brink of losing a game because you're missing one of your key players. So that's all I'll say about that. It's great that you can, playing the heel is nice, but you only win in between the lines. And if you don't do that, then nothing else matters. We'll see what comes of it. Oh my God. Now Memphis, the referees have showed up for Memphis, and they're calling every single cat foul that they could possibly get. Lakers are still down by 6 with 2:55. Again, I doubt they will win. Let's see. We got Victoria also chiming in. What's up? Looked like Draymond was playing hopscotch on his chest. I agree, man. I agree. I'm so sorry,
Bro,
but the
internet was
and it was too much, man. I mean, come on. Let's be honest with ourselves for a moment. That was a bit much. I mean, he stomped on him, then jumped in the air. It was so
come on.
stupid.
Do you honestly think Sabonis got hurt in that?
I don't know if he got hurt, but again,
you tell me that
he's
hurt?
not. No, he's not hurt. But the point is, it's basketball. You can't stomp on a guy's chest in basketball.
No, you can't.
You can't. You just can't. So I mean, I don't know how else to say it. Those type of play. It's not like I watch the NBA. We've been watching the NBA for a long time. You can probably count on your fingers how many times that's something like that has happened.
Twice, and they're both by Draymond. He kicked Steven Adams and stopped on him.
Big three by Russell, and he bricks. That's probably the game there. Well, let's see.
I'm flabbergasted that the NBA, because this has been the best series the NBA's had so far. Both games were very close. They were very physical. They got everyone's attention. I get it. Sacramento ain't been in the playoffs in 17 years, and by the grace of their God, we're blessed to be in this 3 seed. But come on, man. As a Laker fan, you know it. Any playoff game that ever rolled into Sacramento, the refs were never gonna make it an even side.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Haven't been in the playoffs for 16 years. You got to know that the refs are gonna be like, yeah, you're not getting the benefit of that call. That's why I'm saying that the Warriors just need to get back home. And wait, how is it not a shooting foul? Sorry, folks. The Warriors just got to get back home, and they got to get that home cooking going because we know they can do it.
That's all it is. And then I'm also going to shout out Renee. I don't know if he's still watching on the chat. He said, stop making excuses. I'm not making excuses for the Warriors' losses. Those aren't excuses. It's just the reasoning behind Draymond's suspension. If you would have just came out and said it's because he tried to put Sabonis into the ground with his foot, it's okay.
Yeah.
You got it.
Right.
You got it. None of that is mentioned. It's his past history and it's because it's Draymond. That's why they suspended him, dude. Joe Dumars played in the era where you had to get clobbered.
Yeah.
To absolutely get a foul called on you. And they weren't even calling flagrants back then. Those were considered common fouls. But the refs I can't stress enough that the refs need to be better at calling the game and dictating it early. I'm watching this Laker game with you as well.
Yeah, it's over, man. They haven't done anything. They messed around for 3 quarters and then decided they wanted to play with a few minutes left. And now they just fouled JJJ for no reason. So he's going to the free throw line. This game is over. So, yeah.
But these foul calls just got to get consistent. Yeah. I'm sorry, man. It just has to. But as a fan of the NBA, you mean to tell me not having Draymond on the court for the rest of the series after what just took place wouldn't draw that attention? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he'll miss one game is from what I see, right?
He's missing one.
Yeah. So
at the same time, the Niners had a guy under investigation for a domestic dispute. But the NFL allowed him to play because it was ongoing.
Well, that's the NFL. That's different.
But that's the NFC Championship game. So you mean to tell me a domestic, there's
the NFL doesn't care about women. We've had this discussion before. There have been multiple situations. We've nobody. The one player that was caught doing something like that in the NBA was suspended for the entire year. That's Mikal Bridges. So this is completely different leagues. The NFL has no concern for women.
But if you're gonna, but all means, let the series play itself out.
Yeah.
Or dude, give him a hefty ass fine. He got enough money. He's already paid over $1.6 million in technical foul penalties, so you might as well just add up to that total. But now the Warriors, I'm not saying they're shorthanded, but that's your defensive presence there.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for JK to get this run here. Because I think he deserves it. I think he deserves these minutes here. Because he's going to end up taking over the role if he's not traded by the end of the year.
Right.
Renee sends me another text instead of being in the chat. He is watching. Renee, hope you're doing well, man. Don't be afraid to chat inside of our chat.
Yeah.
Appreciate it there. But, Draymond is Draymond. In all honesty, this incident worked himself out of that contract.
I mean, I don't think they were going to give him a contract either way, but
I wouldn't have been shocked if they offered him something.
Yeah.
But quite honestly, the team is always going to have his back. But I just don't see him coming back for this. He signed, stomped, delivered his his resignation letter. So the Warriors not even go get a championship to give him his flowers. But man, it was nice knowing Draymond after this year.
That might be it's especially if somehow the Warriors end up not making it to the Western Conference Finals. Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see how it turns out. Other than that, man, I mean, we mainly just want to get on to discuss that subject. There isn't much to say about the Lakers. They came out pretty flat. They played flat throughout most of the game. They tried to make a comeback in the fourth quarter, but it wasn't happening. They hadn't got shots to fall. And again, just played with a very, I would like to say, just lackluster energy to start the game. And it came back to bite them throughout most of the game.
Knowing that you're already up 1-0, you've got to get greedy and steal a second one on the road, because then that puts all sorts of pressure.
It's easier said than done, because there is no team of all the teams in the playoff that have been able to do it. The Heat took the first game. They are down by 30 in the second game.
Yeah.
No Giannis. So it's just hard to do.
But you got to come out with that intent. At least you got to come out with that intensity and give it a shot. But the Lakers from the get-go did not start with that.
They had what I like to call walking energy. And LeBron is is one of the main culprits of that. There are times where he kind of chooses to play, and they just had a terrible game. It's completely. I mean, he had 28, so I guess I got to give him credit, but it's just when he was on the court, he just looked very just slow and lethargic. Anthony Davis only had 13. I mean, you're not going to win like that. It was not a very good showing on the offensive end by any particular player, and one of the reasons is because again, you're playing so slow and lackadaisical to start the game that you can't just turn on a rhythm. That doesn't work.
No, especially after you get down 20.
Yeah, well, you can't just turn it. I mean, they cut it to 6, but that doesn't matter because you spent the entire first half trying to climb uphill. Yeah, so when you're playing from behind for that long, it makes it even more difficult to get over the hump. So, like you, sir, I will have to look forward to the next home game and hope that they can get back to their winning ways. Ja may or may not play in the next game, and there really isn't an excuse for him at this point. Without Ja, Steven Adams in the lineup, they have to come out and play better. I don't like the whole Anthony Davis thing right now, even though he played pretty good the last game. His game of today was absolutely atrocious. 13 points as a superstar in the league. 13 points, 8 rebounds ain't gonna cut it. He's gonna have to play a lot better.
Well, yeah, and he's got the advantage. Triple J is not a really good defender.
Yeah, he's just not. He just wasn't putting. I mean, he shot 28% from the field, so he's just not. He's not putting it in the. He's not putting it in the, D'Angelo.
They've got to find a way to incorporate him more. Every time I see LeBron throwing throwing it into the paint, he's triple teamed. He's just throwing it up there for AD to go get. Yeah. That's not setting him up for any success at all because you're playing the ball with him.
LeBron needs to start playing off the ball, and I don't mean just standing in the corner waiting for a 3-point shot. He has to get guys going, and one way you can do that is by playing off the ball a little bit and setting screens for guys. And I don't know what the deal is with not running a LeBron AD pick and roll. They, for some reason, ever since those two have been together, they've not been able to figure that out. But they need to get with those two talented players. You got to get something going to at least open up your offense enough to get guys open looks and shots. And they didn't make a lot of shots today, man. They shot terrible from the field. The entire team. D'Angelo Russell shot 18% from the field. Best player on the team was Rui Hachimura again. And they, even Reeves had 12. LeBron obviously he had 28, but he was a -17 in the plus and minus column. So when he was on the floor, that lets you know he was basically just ISOing. He wasn't really doing much for anybody else. So we'll see if they can pick it up.
Victoria goes, God, they wanted it more, and it showed. Crying face. That was JJ. I mean, look, any team that's down 0-1 at home, they're gonna come out with their hair on fire.
Because if you go down 0-2 on the
guns
road,
blazing,
the series
JJ
is over
like John Moran, they came out guns blazing.
I think we'd be better off if Ja played, to be honest. But we'll.
And that's the crazy part is every time Ja's not in the lineup for Memphis, they look a lot better than with him in the lineup.
Yeah.
It blows my mind that how that takes place, that your best player could be your worst enemy in the postseason.
Yeah, well, I mean, guys have to show up and play hard, and they have to do it from the jump instead of spotting the team 15 points and then try to make a comeback. I mean, it doesn't work like that. So if they have the energy they played with in the third and the mid third and the mid fourth in the beginning of the game, then you really put pressure on the team and force them to wonder why they're out there. But if you give them all the confidence in the world, then hell yeah, they're going to beat you. So that's what they did. So we'll see. I don't suspect the Lakers will lose the next game at home. I'm just hoping they come out with a little bit better energy overall. And they got to get rid of that walking energy. I don't like that. The walking, standing around on offense, it's just not good. So we'll see if they can figure it out.
So we'll cover the rest of the league. So as you mentioned, Milwaukee lost at home the first game and now are blowing the Heat out of the water.
Yeah.
Memphis went down 0-1, get a big win at home, tied the series 1-1. There's one team down 0-1 right now, and is fighting for their lives. Do you think the Minnesota
Oh
Timberwolves
no.
can escape Denver?
Well, yeah, that series is over, and Denver's playing at home, so they're at home and they're playing the weakest team in the playoffs. So I think that's pretty much a wrap.
It's safe to say Denver and the Celtics probably couldn't have asked for better opponents to start their run on.
And also, let's talk about a little bit about Phoenix and the Clippers, who I watched last night. I mean, Phoenix were in danger there for a moment. They were down by I think 12 points of going down 0-2, but Devin Booker came through, and Westbrook got back to being Westbrook in the fourth quarter and started kind of throwing up shots and turning the ball over, which kind of hurt him late in the game. But, Kawhi Leonard has been playing pretty darn well throughout this series. The Phoenix Suns are trying to figure each other out.
All season of rest.
Yeah, well, exactly right. He only played 50 games. Took a third of the season off, almost half of the season off. So, yeah, I guess you're right.
Here's what's going to hurt the Suns. They had zero bench productivity in that game.
They don't have a bench.
It had to be Devin Booker and Kevin Durant to carry them to that win. That's not sustainable in 4 7-game series to an NBA championship.
Yeah, but that's what you traded for. I mean, that's what you traded for. I mean, you gave up depth in order to get frontline talent or starting high end talent. That high end talent's got to come through for you, man. They don't have any other options. You know what I mean?
They didn't win by that much to tell. To be honest.
No, they didn't. And the Clippers don't have the greatest home crowd, so there's a chance that they can win in LA. But
yeah, because they're all Laker fans. That's why.
Yeah, I know. It's like, why are you here? Hurry up and open up your new stadium wherever it's going to be, and go play over there. And, I don't know. What are they going to do? They're going to host more concerts there than they will Clipper games. I can tell you that right now. But yeah, man. I'm not counting the Suns out. I think that's a series that'll go the length. I think once those guys figure it out, they can still make it happen. The Clips, they have a tendency of jacking up a lot of threes, and that sometimes can bite them in the butt. Kawhi Leonard is their only consistent thing that they have going for them. If you find a way to at least keep Kawhi quiet a little bit, you'll be all right. The problem though is Phoenix has no defensive players to speak of. So
no. The only guy they have is Kawhi.
Yeah,
and that is it.
The Suns. The Suns are out there trying to guard Kawhi with Booker and KD, and it's like they don't have anybody to sit out there to guard them. So we'll see.
No, but the Suns can force someone else to beat them. Eric Gordon has not really been, seen in this series here, right. and that's your 3-point specialist. So
and Westbrook's going to start to go back. He's going to start to gradually regress to the mean. He's been shooting the ball lights out for a couple of games. He's going to start getting back into. He's going to start missing shots. But his defensive effort is really what's been helping the Clippers the most. But don't expect him to, continue jacking up threes and knocking them down. Take it from me. I watched him.
He's your favorite player, man.
Yeah, and D'Angelo Russell is quietly shooting himself out of a contract next year. Jeez Louise. 5 points on 18%, 2 of 11.
Dude, what? There to support him. That's why, man.
Oh, Iggy Azalea, that's Swaggy P old girl. I don't know who she's with now these days.
Oh, yeah, pretty much. Oh, here comes a real barn burner, the Wolves and the Nuggets.
I'll watch the replay on that one.
Yeah, I'll wait till the after.
I'll check in at halftime, and if the game's close, I'll watch it. Otherwise, I ain't watching that. Brooklyn and Philly. So tomorrow, let's set up tomorrow, since we've got the game for the the Sacramento and Golden State. Of course, are coming back to the Chase Center for game 3. My prediction is the Warriors are going to come out on fire, with hair on fire, and get the job done, even without Draymond. The only way this game is even close is if somehow the Sacramento Kings get a 30-point bench performance from Malik Monk or from Horder or one of these guys. Other than that, I don't think they stand a chance. B, what you think?
the Warriors are going to come out with absolute guns blazing and just they got to get this victory. This is the first time they've been down 0-2 in any playoff era under the Curry era, to say the least here. So different expectations for them this year, but I think they'll get Game 3. This may be the one game that's a blowout, and then Game 4 will be an absolute war.
Oh yeah.
With the anchor foot of Draymond Green coming down back on the court here. Real quick, Victoria chimes in. She goes, "What about Kirsch getting his 200 win?" I know that didn't come from Victoria, but JJ, I hate to tell you, nobody cares in Northern California that Clayton Kershaw got 200 wins. Nobody cares about the Dodgers. And I'm just going to leave it at that.
Oh, man.
Sorry.
And there it is. And there it is. Awesome. Anything else we want to get in, or we want to... I think that's all we got. We're gonna set up the game for tomorrow. I'm sure everybody will be tuned in. I actually live up in the Sacramento area, so what I can tell you is that this is the greatest thing to ever happen to this area in a very long time. So that's why the stadium and all that is crazy. So I hope the Warriors can get it done. Ultimately, my Lakers need to get it done. We will be playing the winner of this matchup, mind you. So if the Warriors pull through, they will be playing the Lakers in the next round. So hopefully me and B will still be friends if that happens. We'll see how it goes.
NBA, since we're all about favoriting teams, why not have a favorite for the Warriors? Because you'll get LeBron and Steph Curry in the semifinals.
Well, you don't think the league wants that? Of course the league wants that, man. Of course the league. So let's start. There's no conspiracy theory to get the Kings to the next round, folks. There isn't. The league has no interest in seeing Sacramento play the Lakers. I mean, maybe Kings fans do because they remember back in the day when we used to whip them in the playoffs, all with Chris Webber and Mike Bibby and Vlade Divac and what was his name? Bobby. Oh man, what was it? I can't remember his last name. Doug Christie, right?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Doug Christie and all the rest. I remember those teams very well. Sacramento hates us with a passion, so those are the only folks that want to see that. Other than that, man, it's got to be Golden. It's got to be LA. Then LA and the Bay competing to go to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
You mean to tell me that your two top players of a decade who are trying to end their career with championships, you wouldn't want that matchup in the semifinals?
Oh, yeah, all day, man.
Tell me we weren't enjoying Magic and Bird and their careers playing against each other in the finals. The NBA knows what they want, and if they got to make sure they get it.
Oh, man.
I'm not a fan of it.
You got some home cooking? Are you trying to say there's going to be some home cooking? Is that what we're saying?
Oh, man, they're going to whip up all sorts of dinners for the Reds to make sure that they get the calls that they need to get.
Oh, man. You heard it here first, folks. The first man to call out a conspiracy in favor of the Warriors. I don't think that's ever happened before.
Would you want to watch De'Aaron Fox versus LeBron, or do you want to watch Steph Curry versus LeBron?
Dude, if the Sacramento Kings make it through, we're killing that team. Bar none, We're killing that team. That team plays no defense, has no interior defense at all. We can live at the rim and in the paint. It's not going to be fun for that team at all. So, who's going to guard LeBron? I don't know. De'Aaron Fox?
Davion Mitchell?
Who's guarding AD? I guess a bonus. He can't even run. And, and then of course you have the other guys who can also make plays with the ball between Austin Reeves and D'Lo. But I don't want to look past the Memphis Grizzlies. They're not done yet. Ja can make a comeback. You never know. So Lakers just got to worry about their own crap and get it done.
I don't know, man. That the way his hand snapped back, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah, man. Well, as you mentioned earlier, you got to take care of your shooting hand. And so Ja, unfortunately, was going to have to learn how to shoot left-handed if he's going to continue to play. So he's out.
Can we before we leave, can we talk about Sabonis' supposed injury?
What injury? Well, he's on the injury report for what?
X-rays returned negative on Sabonis' sternum, and it appears he avoided injury. Sacramento Kings All-Star Domantas Sabonis is undergoing X-rays on his ribs and lungs. Stop it. I get it. You got stepped on.
Hey, look, they're just trying to get the suspension, okay? Let's just.
Well, they got it.
So, that's all that was. That's all that was. They were like,
Draymond responded back, going to get an X-ray on his ankle.
This is stupid, man. Here? So stupid. Yeah, Sabonis is out there like, I can't breathe. He's trying to make it seem like you got the win.
He's running up and down the court and getting a dunk at the end.
Yeah, he finished the game, folks.
Shit out of here.
He finished it. If he had a broken sternum or a cracked sternum or something, he would not have played the rest of the game. Come on, guys. He would have
never gotten up off that floor had that been the case.
No, we all
missed
know
me
that.
with all of that, dude. God, man.
Man, you talk about some gamesmanship, man. The Kings are ready to win at all costs, folks. Like, they are ready to throw it all at the Warriors right now.
They're pulling false X-ray reports. They're going to show them with a
they kicked out E40 the game before, man. They are not playing. They have pulled out all the stops to beat y'all, man. If KD still played for the team, KD's mama would have been kicked out of it. I mean, the Sacramento is just they're doing any and everything. They are not playing.
Oh. So it comes to find out there's light on that E40 situation. He was just standing up. What? And people were telling him to sit down. Dude,
kicked him out for that?
You're at a playoff game. You should be standing. It's an intense game. Yeah, come on, man. That drives me nuts.
That's ridiculous, man. The fact that they would even, Sacramento has no respect for the hip hop legend E40. Even though when the Bay movement was going on, they tried to plug themselves in there.
That's why I said after 17 years, Sacramento finds themselves no longer part of the Bay Area. So stick to that.
Technically, they never were. They just tried to put themselves in there.
That's like people over in Reading going, "Oh, I'm from the Bay." Wait, what? You're like 4 hours away.
Dude, you're from the boonies. You're not from the Bay.
Just stop it, Sacramento. Stop with the fakeness. You guys aren't from the Bay, but respect the Bay's.
The Bay's culture, baby. Yeah, come on.
That's all it is, dude. Oh my God! I swear to God, watch Sacramento. Here's the other thing that just broke news. This is talk about some more petty shit going on. The Chase Center has told all Sacramento fans that no cowbells are allowed in the arena.
Well, I told you about them cowbells. Yeah, those things are annoying as shit. So I'm glad.
If you're caught with the cowbell, they will make you check it in and then retrieve it after the game.
So we can start the over under now. How many Sacramento Kings fans are going to get thrown out of Chase Center? I don't think there will be enough Kings fans. Well, maybe there will be because it's not that far away. The Warriors fans got to show out. I think they will, and as long as they can put it to them early, they might be able to put them down early. So we'll see how it goes, man. I don't.
We ain't got to hear no more cowbells or anything like that. The gamesmanship on and off the court has just been hilarious.
It's been risen to a level of DEFCON 5. It's gone.
DEFCON pettiness.
I don't think I've ever seen. I mean, we're almost at Reggie Miller choke status right now. Seriously, like that's where we are right now.
Dude, this is just mind blowing.
You know what the Warriors should do? They should have E40 do the halftime show or do something before the game. Like, they literally should have him come out and do something just before the game or at halftime just to rub it in.
What's crazy is before the game, the Warriors have this ring the bell moment, right?
Yeah.
Before the team gets on the court, E40 should be the guy who does that.
Absolutely.
E40 should be the guy that does a halftime show, and then whoever's holding the coverage of the game, E40 should do the post-game interview with the star player of that game.
Oh yeah,
it should be E40 night at the Chase Center.
I love that idea, E40 night. I mean, they should print out shirts with E40's face on them and put them on everybody's seat so that they have it on whenever you get.
On the back of it says 40 water on the back of it.
Absolutely. I'm waiting on the first
Dude,
I'm waiting on the
great.
first Warriors fan to come out with the nut sack shirt. Somebody's got to do it. Come on, Warrior fans. Somebody do
We're
it.
better than this. But I'll tell you this: we're not going to be ringing no cowbell in the GM's ear, like Sacramento was doing to Bob Myers. This one fan was just literally ringing his bell.
Dude, they're crazy.
Right in his ear, man.
They're going hard,
like,
man.
Damn.
They're going hard. There's no sidestepping it. They're going hard, man. Seriously.
But they definitely are. They're taking it to a whole new level. But man, I'm just glad I ain't got to hear "Light the Beam" the entire fourth quarter now. I like the beam. The beam.
Well, join the club. We've been hearing "Beat LA" for the past 20 years.
Oh man, but I support the Beat LA.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, really.
I support that.
When you're good enough that folks have a chant for you, that's when you know you made it. Okay, so take that as a sign of respect.
No, that's a disrespect to all of Los Angeles. Don't get me started on it.
Come on.
Yeah, man, this is gonna be fun. Everyone, thank you for tuning in on a special show on a Wednesday night. Victoria and JJ, I know he was in it. Will as well. We had NorCal, we had Jeremy, we had Renee. Sliding text messages through my phone when he could have just been doing it in our chat. We appreciate you all for tuning in, and the 5 people watching us as well. Thank you for rolling with us here. We're still growing and we're still doing some strong things. So we appreciate you guys. And we'll be back on this Sunday night because there's going to be some pivotal series happening this weekend here after tomorrow and Friday takes place. So
yeah, I think you're up tomorrow, and I think the Lakers are up on. Oh, we don't play again until Saturday. Wow.
Damn.
What the heck?
They had 2 days off in between.
Well, in their defense, they are the Western team that has to travel the furthest. In their defense,
Stop it.
What do you mean? It's true. The Suns, Arizona, and LA. Okay, come on. Arizona and LA, not very far away. Sacramento and the Bay Area, not very far away. The Nuggets in Minnesota. That's probably the other one. Well, no, that's not that far away either, because it's Denver to Minnesota. So yeah, come on, LA to Tennessee. I've actually been on that flight. It's a 5-hour flight, bro. Got to give it respect. Come on.
Nobody told you to get the seated position you were supposed to get.
Nobody told Memphis to be in the West. What are they doing there anyway? Come on. Yeah, seriously. Anyway.
They're way past the Central Coast, for crying out loud.
I don't know what. Somebody get them out of here. Put them over there in the East, so John can go, I like the East, and break his hand or whatever.
Damn.
Oh man. Anyway, all right, folks. Well, I think that's gonna do it for us. Again, if you know somebody that might enjoy our content, feel free to share, subscribe, hit that notification button if you're already subscribed. We appreciate you, Jordan.
It works.
We appreciate you joining us on this special Wednesday evening. We're going to start to do a little bit more of this, especially with the playoffs being so hot and bothered. And we look forward to talking to y'all again very soon. Peace.
Draymond, enjoy your day off tomorrow.
And good night. Draymond will be in the press box tomorrow watching the game with his fammy. Like Kawhi did.
He'll be next to Adam Silver. Let's put it like that.
No, I don't think Adam Silver wants to sit anywhere near Draymond.
All right, y'all.
All right. Peace.